myself standing in front of a mirror because I'm like, all right, guess what? I'm not gonna say in front of a mirror.
I think I'm fine. I'm only nervous because we've said his name so many times, just not in front of a mirror.
Yeah, just
so
around.
I'm like, I don't fully.
Like our
know
counter
the
may
rules.
be at like a 2.5, just off rip. You know,
I'm like I don't know, and I'm like I don't want to like jinx it or anything. So I'm just like I'm just gonna keep myself low. Maybe not look in the mirror for a bit more time.
Yeah, give it a couple of days. You know, let him forget.
Now.
Let our counter reset a little bit.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood. Alright, today was spooky because we did
Candyman.
Yes. So I'm going to read the IMDb. The Candyman, a murderous soul with a hook for a hand, is accidentally summoned to reality by a skeptic grad student researching the monster's myth. And that's the last time I'm saying this name.
Yeah. So, I guess we are kind of looking at ourselves, you know? So, I guess we can't say it too many times.
Yeah, I don't
can't
know.
say it too many times here. You know?
I will just not invite that in here.
Yeah, so I guess we always start off with things we kind of liked about the movie, so you want to start?
Sure. The first thing I wrote down was the music. The soundtrack was really good. It wasn't like songs, just like the instrumental track going behind it was nice and like spooky in the right spots. And I just thought it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually didn't write that down this time, which I feel like I usually do. And I did appreciate it because there were a couple like really good like organ moments.
Yeah.
That like really just like, I don't know, just like really set the mood. But,
that's what I felt too. I was like,
yeah. The first thing I wrote down was I liked how the main girl went crazy.
I wrote that too.
Yeah, like in the beginning of the movie, I thought she was making all the wrong choices
because she really was.
She was just way too curious, like, you know, like I don't know. So, but yeah, like so I like seeing her go crazy and get framed for murders and things like that. So
that too.
I really like that part.
Going off of that, I really enjoyed the specific scene where after, I want to say it's the first time she's confronted by the killer who must not be named, just the confusion of her waking up in a pool of her own blood, and then like seeing that she had been attacked, but then there's like the dog head, and then the woman screaming, and just like the confusion in that scene is just top notch, and I loved it so much. It was so good.
Yeah, no, I really liked that scene as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, so the next thing I had was pretty much the murders. Like, I liked the murder, like pretty much all the murders, how she kept getting framed. Like, even when she was in her home and like she invited her friend over and she just happened to come right after she saw the killer, you know?
Yeah.
And like I just thought it was like really good that she kept getting framed for murder, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just like to see her get it framed. I wish she would have done more time, but you know.
Yeah. I love seeing her get framed too, and I think I specifically liked this scene. I love when he appeared only to her when she was committed in the psych ward, and then we see the footage of it later when she's in that little meeting with them about being put on trial or whatever, and he's like, you said you saw the killer here, and then it's just her screaming like by herself in a bed, just like made to look like the most mentally unwell person ever, and I loved that.
Yeah.
Just being framed for murder was just so great for her.
Yeah. Okay. The last thing I had, I really liked the ending when the boy threw the hook on the grave. I thought it was just like very, I guess like it kind of was what it was, you know, like they burned down, but the whole purpose was to kind of, I want people to fear me. I want people to fear me even though I don't exist for real anymore.
Yeah.
I want people to just be scared of me such that every time something bad happens, they're like, oh no, I'm around, you know?
Yeah.
And so I kind of liked how, like, the last image they saw of her was her, like, burning, carrying out the baby who's been lost for however long that they thought she murdered, you know?
I think it was, like, a month or so when I looked it up. That's what it said. The timeline was a little fuzzy.
Yeah, it was very fuzzy. But, so I really liked the ending and the overall, like, goal of the Candyman to, like, just be feared. I thought that was...
Solid goal.
I just liked that goal, you know?
I like that. That was the... I don't have any more good things.
Yeah, okay, that was it for me too. Now we're gonna get into problematic parts, things we didn't like. You know,
You can go first if you want.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I actually had a lot of things that bothered me in this movie.
Okay.
Again, not a huge horror movie fan. That might be be part of it, might not be. But the first thing I had, this one was more just something unrelated to it being a horror movie, but the timeline was like very confusing at times. Like they kind of just skipped a lot, and like they would like say things like, "Oh, you know, it's been a month since this happened." The part that really bothered me in particular was the black eye.
Oh, that was gone.
Like she got a black eye, and literally in the next scene, it was gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I guess a bunch of time skip, but then like it was almost like time didn't skip in terms of the actual plot.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems like she's going to this thing every day, but like apparently there's months in between, which is kind of a little, I don't know. So that was kind of the first thing I had.
Yeah. I don't really have a lot of stuff. Well, I'll get into the stuff I didn't really like mostly when we do our ratings. But I guess the only thing I had that was like problematic was when the little kid used the R word. I don't like that. But everything else was we'll get into it when I do my rating, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you could go.
Well, no, I had more problematic stuff.
Go ahead.
The professor was a creep. He was kind of a creep.
The worst.
Like I guess he married his ex-graduate student, or she was. I don't know if she was his graduate student, but then by the end he's cheating on her with a graduate student. So it was just a bad trend for him, you know.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, so I had that. The other thing was there was that one scene where they were sitting at the table eating in the beginning with the other professor who I said looked like Ben Franklin.
Yes.
I thought he was about to mansplain her. It seemed like he was very much doing the mansplaining thing.
Yeah, but it was weird because I couldn't tell if she really didn't know or not.
Yeah. I was like she says
this?
that like she's doing her whole thesis on this. You don't think she's done this research? You don't think she's read her paper? You know?
Yeah.
That's what my first thought. But then like it seemed like she actually didn't know.
And then I was like,
yeah. And then like it also gave me like weird like boys clubby vibes or like glass ceiling vibes, things like that. So that was the only other thing I had. I guess the general idea of Candyman is that like he was in love with a white woman and like was going to get like lynched. A lynch mob came after him. So like I guess they didn't touch too much on it, but it kind of I guess drove the movie in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
So
I feel as though they could have touched on it a little bit more, so that some of his obsession with her was a little bit clearer.
Yeah, because I didn't I think I missed the scene where they explained that.
They explained it in the scene with the professor.
Yeah, he was talking,
right? I think we were too busy trying to figure out where we knew him from.
Yeah. So that was on me. That's why I actually looked that one up after because I was like, okay, but yeah, it just I don't know. The whole movie was just a little like sexually charged, especially toward the end with the hook scene at the end. I thought that was like just weird-ish, you know. But
and it's even weirder when you don't understand his obsession with
Like
after reading the summary of it, I was like, oh, I get more of it now.
Like I guess he's just like into white girls, but that's what it seemed like. But but yeah, the hook scene at the end was weird. But yeah, I think that was the final like, problematic thing I had.
All right.
I guess we can get into ratings now. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I gave this movie a 3 out of 5. Overall, I did enjoy it, and I will say I think I like horror movies more than you do. So that is probably so. If you get less than me, that's probably going to be part of the reason. I enjoyed the parts of the movie that I enjoyed the most were where he's framing her for murder. That's where I liked it the most. However, I felt as though after Helen was framed for killing her friend, the movie wasn't scary anymore. I don't know why, it just didn't feel scary, only because I think we knew who the culprit was, we knew how to summon him, it's just not a surprise. We know she's not killing anyone. It just stopped being surprising, and then at the end, it was just like, he's obsessed with her, is he gonna be with her? And then the whole thing with the baby, which was still like, I guess he had a kid with the girl when he was like younger, but like, that wasn't his kid. So I was confused by why he was so infatuated with keeping that baby. But yeah, I think my main gripe was just that like at the end it wasn't scary. Like once we found out who the killer who must not be named was, and like all that stuff, we just kind of were there and like waiting for her to die essentially. Yeah. So that's why.
And I think I'm glad you mentioned the killing thing because just like after that first thing with the dog, the rest of the killings were just like I don't know, kind of lame in comparison. Like that first one, it seemed like they really like paid attention. They wanted to get like the crazy apartment, blood everywhere, the beheaded dog. Like they really went like all in on that scene.
And like the woman screaming in the empty crib and just like pulling her hair out. That was perfect.
And by the time you get to him like hooking the who is that, the DA or the psych guy, whoever that guy was sitting in the chair when she like actually summoned him, I was like, all right. Like he just like came out from under the table and just did it real quick, and then whoosh out the window. And I was like, that was like nothing compared to that first scene, you know.
So maybe that's what it was. That first kill was so good. The rest after were just. And
you almost like expect the rest of it to be like, oh my gosh, like they really went all in. Like, well, how's the next one gonna happen?
Yeah,
you know?
We don't even see her kill the friend. Not that we needed to, but we
that
don't
one
see
was a little like they had that final scene where you see her like skin turning white or whatever, and
so
like
that was
it was like
pretty
okay,
good, but
it was just like
at the
it was slowly going down a little bit.
I don't like that.
But okay. Yeah, this one I actually gave it a 2.5, and I had it at a 3. But
I thought you were gonna say 2.
I think the movie in my head was a little better than the movie that was actually on screen. Cause like when I was thinking about it after the fact, I was like, okay, I really enjoyed that. But then I like was thinking about what actually happened in the movie, and I'm like, they kind of glossed over a lot of things. Like I feel like this movie kind of touched on a lot of like really interesting things, but like didn't go in depth enough with some of these ideas for me. You know, like the bee thing, that one, like they pretty much did nothing with the bees
until like a little bit at the end where she's covered in bees, and then I was like, we could have been covering people with bees this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, and what was the other thing I had? And then the fact that she kept getting out of like these psych wards and stuff like so easily in a way kind of like lowered the stakes a lot for me. You know, but
because it just wasn't scary.
Yeah, it really just stopped. Yeah, and then again, like that first scene being so good, like it was sitting at like a 3.5 for me. But then like again, it just got like I just felt like it dragged on a little bit, or not dragged on, but just tried to do too much in too little time.
Yeah.
Like this movie wasn't that long. Again, this might have been one that could have deserved an extra 15-ish minutes for me. So 2.5. I did actually enjoy this a lot more than I thought I would, though. Considering, like, I really don't like horror movies, and, like, I don't know. I actually enjoyed this one, though.
Alright. So, final question, do you wish you'd seen it sooner?
For me, it's just, like, a no. I mean, like, I liked it. Again, like, it's not a movie I would have, like, gone out of my way to see. I still kind of feel the same, you know, but, I am glad I saw it. Like, it was a fun experience. The idea of, like, saying his name 5 times in a mirror, like, you hear that around a lot and, like, see it in, like, other places, so,
I'm not an urban myth person, though.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not...
things like that or, like, Bloody Mary, I never liked those just because it's, like, they're telling you exactly how the killer comes. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's like, just don't do it, you know?
Yeah,
so,
it's so easy to avoid.
Yeah, again, you know, I always get lost in the, once the character does something I wouldn't do, I'm like, well, fuck him then, you know? So...
I will say, we were saying that about her a lot. Just when she was crawling through, like, medicine cabinets. I was like,
she was a bad influence on the people around her, too.
I was like, man.
Like, she really got her friends in some, like, very bad situations.
And that little kid, I was like, why are you trying to friend her from this boy?
The one friend she had waiting in a bathroom and some, like, you know what I mean? Come on. But, do you wish you saw it sooner?
Mine says no, but for a different reason than you.
Okay.
I like horror movies now, and I was planning on seeing this movie in theaters, the new iteration that Jordan Peele, like, wrote and Nina DaCosta directed. So I'm kind of glad I haven't seen this before, because after we watched this, I watched the trailer for the new one, and it made me more excited. So I think if I had seen this earlier, I would have been even more bummed that once COVID hit and I couldn't see it in theaters. Yeah. Okay. So it's like the dumbest reason to be happy I haven't seen it, but it's just because now I'm only slightly upset that it's moved back because of the pandemic. But if I had seen it earlier, I would have been way more pissed, because after seeing the new trailer again, I'm like, yes, I get the references, like all that stuff. Yeah. The baby she saved from the fire is like the main guy in the new one. Like, I'm so ready.
Okay.
I'm so ready.
All right, I dig it. I know, like, honestly, like, I didn't even know there was a new one. I heard about it because she told me, like, prior to this, but, I would definitely see it now, you know, so,
I was always gonna see it, but now I'm more excited, and I'm happy I have more, like, frame of reference for everything.
Yeah, I don't think I was gonna see it, but now, who knows, you know? But, I guess that's all we have today.
Yeah.
YouTube housekeeping. like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell. Leave a comment or suggestion of any movie you would like us to see. We do movies Tuesdays and Fridays, and on Sundays we do TV shows and music.
All right.
So, yeah.
Until next time.
We'll see you next time to catch up. Bye.